Hi Dan, here we are again, and I'm sure I speak on behalf of many people in saying that there was great disappointment at Ellis Park. We didn't get it right in many ways, but at the end of the day, rugby won, and I think that for me is the positive. But let's hear your take.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. Well, first up, congratulations to the All Blacks. Hats off to the All Blacks because they overturned a 16-point defeat into a 12-point victory, a 28-point turnaround. And that takes some doing. They found their mojo, as the kids say these days. Before I get into the game, I have to apologise for what I'm about to say because I hate doing this. But I'm afraid the English referee, Luke Pearce, to me, didn't have a particularly good game. And the Springboks got knocked out of their rhythm by some of his decisions. For instance, our scrum was penalised right in the second minute for the breakfoot rule, which is another variation that rugby fiddles with. The best scrum in the world suddenly is penalised. The next thing is Willemse gets a yellow card right on our line. Without a warning, straight to the yellow card. So that takes a bit of the momentum. And then there were some other decisions. Havili absolutely shoulder charged Mapimpi out of the way. Nothing happened with that. And the chair had the ball ripped out of his hands. He called a knock on. And then there was the one that I thought was absolutely wrong, which was the obstruction, Sam Whitelock on Hendrickse. And I felt what Jaden Hendrickse had done with running from the back. He'd stopped to let his own man through. And he called it strangely, that it was obstruction, even though the player was behind Jaden Hendrickse, he couldn't have seen him. Whenever somebody runs from the back, his whole team's in front of him. So I don't know where we suddenly now have offsides when somebody's running from the back. Anyway, that said, it broke the Springboks' momentum. But as the game turned out, the Boks actually got back into it and at one stage took the lead. But I think they rather shot themselves in the foot. I think Jacques Nienaber got his team selection wrong from Mbombela. Instead of staying with that really dominant pack, he made some changes. And I think it's something of a concession that all three the changes, Dweba and Chair and Duane Vermeulen, that they were taken off the field before half-time. It might have been better to stay with the momentum, especially brought by Malcolm Marx. But then we fight our way back into the test match. We managed to take the lead, but we die by our own mistakes, by not winning, by not kicking points, and kicking to the lineouts and making crooked throws. And then, most disappointingly, the Springboks fell to their own tactic, and that is that tactic of the box kick that we have spoken about before. We're now leading. We've got to hang on to the lead. There are 10 minutes left to play. Hendrickse kicks a box kick in his own on the All Blacks 10-metre line, gives the All Blacks the ball back, and it ends up in a try on the other side of the field. Now suddenly we lose the lead. Now we've only got 5 minutes left and to get back the lead. And this time Yankees is on the field, again in the All Blacks 10-metre line, again puts the ball up in the air. Again the All Blacks get the ball back without having to work for it. And this time they had a plan. Their quick pass, catch game was in play, and they clearly had a plan that if they won that high ball, they would take it back from the concentration of play, take it away. And it worked extremely well. So I think we really need to look at that tactic. There's a new phenomenon in the Springboks. We stand a player right next to the maul as a pillar or a blocker. His job is clearly to be in the way of the guy trying for the charge down. For me, he's actually in the way of his own scrum half, because what that forces the scrum half to do is to kick the ball more vertically. Hence, he kicks it higher, hence he kicks it shorter, hence it might be more difficult for a single runner to run on and win the ball. So we need to look at that. We give the ball away far too easily. And that means we're now into the next section of the Rugby Championship. The Springboks have left for Australia. They're playing their first test in Adelaide on August the 27th. And to end this week's little contribution by myself, I can confidently predict there will be no Springbok defeat this weekend.
Well said, Dan. Cheers.